So I got a day off. Um, so I came out to the lake to clip some spikes off of I can't remember the name of the tree, but it produces these 3 to 4 inch long thorns. Insanely sharp. Apparently the Native Americans used to use them for nails, but I want them for other reasons. I just wish I could remember the name of the tree. Anyway, today I'm going to be reading Daniel chapter 7, which is um, something that's been on my mind for a couple years now. It's Daniel's dream of the 4 beasts. Um, so, Daniel chapter 7. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and a vision passed by through his mind as he was lying in bed. He wrote down the substance of his dream. Daniel said, "In my vision at night," ah, no, go back. "In my vision at night, I looked, and there before me were 4 winds, were the 4 winds of heaven churning up the great sea. 4 beasts, each different from the other, came up out of the sea. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. I watched, and until its wings were torn off, it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on 2 feet like a human being, and the mind of a human was given to it. And there before me was the second beast, which looked like a bear. It was raised up on one of its sides, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. It was told, 'Get up and eat your fill of flesh.' After that, I looked, and there before me was another beast, one that looked like a leopard, and on its back it had 4 wings, like those of a bird. This beast had 4 heads, and it was given authority to rule. After that, in my vision at night, I looked, and there before me was a 4th beast, terrifying and frightening and powerful. It had large iron teeth, and it crushed and devoured its victims, trampled underfoot whatever was left. It was different from all the former beasts, and it had 10 horns. While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little one, which came up from among them, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn had eyes like the eyes of a human, and a mouth that spoke boastfully. As I looked, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head was white like wool. His throne was flaming with fire, and his wheels were ablaze. A river of fire was flowing and coming out from before him. Thousands upon thousands attended him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. Then I continued to watch. Because of the boastful words the little horn was speaking, I kept looking until the beast was slain and its body destroyed and thrown into the blazing fire. The other beasts had been stripped of their authority, but were allowed to live for a period of time. In my vision at night, I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven, and he approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations and peoples of every language worshipped him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. I, Daniel, was troubled in the spirit, and the visions that passed through my mind disturbed me. I approached one of the standing there and asked him the meaning of all this. So he told me and gave me the interpretation of these things. The 4 great beasts are 4 kings that will rise from the earth, but the holy people of the Most High will receive the kingdom and will possess it forever. Yes, forever and ever. Then I wanted to know the meaning of the fourth beast, which was different from all the others and most terrifying, with its iron teeth and bronze claws. The beast that crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever was left. I also wanted to know about the 10 horns on its head and the other horn that came up, before which 3 of them fell. The horn that looked more imposing than the others, and that had eyes and a mouth that spoke boastfully. As I watched, this horn was waging war against the holy people and defeating them, until the Ancient of Days came and pronounced judgment in favor of the holy people of the Most High. And the time came when they possessed the kingdom. He gave me this explanation. The fourth beast is the fourth kingdom that will appear on earth. It will be different from all the other kingdoms, and it will devour the whole earth, trampling it down and crushing it. The 10 horns are 10 kings who will come from this kingdom. After them, another king will arise, different from the earlier ones. He will subdue 3 kings. He will speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people and try to change the set times and laws. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times, and half a time. But the court will sit, and his power will be taken away and completely destroyed forever. Then the sovereignty power and the greatness of all kingdoms under heaven will be handed over to the holy people of the Most High. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all rulers will worship and obey him. This is the end of the matter. I, Daniel, was deeply troubled by my thoughts, and my face turned pale, but I kept the matter to myself. So for quite a while, I had thought about the first beast that was like a lion, and yet it had wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were torn off and it was lifted from the ground so it stood on 2 feet like a human being. And I don't know why, but I guess I remember this saying that it was going to be given a heart of a man, not a mind of a man, but this says mind of a human was given to it. I am not a theologian. I just pray for understanding. I don't have any actual accreditation. I think that's the word. But for quite a few years now, especially since a day in October, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, uh, and there was Operation Roaring Lion or Rising Lion. I don't remember which. But I guess I figured, or I interpreted it, that the lion would be what we call Israel now, and its wings, the wings of an eagle, which I imagine would be American airplane. But then its wings were torn off and it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on 2 feet. I also know that the Iranian flag, before it was taken over by the IRGC, Persia, Iran, um, had a flag that had a lion on it with a sun on its back, which could look like wings if you look at it a certain way. And then that was removed and it was replaced with 2 swords and some sort of squiggly thing in the middle. I wonder if any of that has anything to do with this lion and wings. I don't know. I guess for me, I think the second beast which looked like a bear and was raised up on one of its sides, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth. Kind of makes me think of Russia, and it's gimpy on one side because, you know, Ukraine. And the 3 ribs in its mouth. I'm wondering, because Eve was a product of Adam's rib. So is it 3 women that are in its mouth? And it said, get up and eat your fill of flesh. The other beast that looked like a leopard, and on its back it had 4 wings like those of a bird. I don't know, I guess I always thought the leopard was China or some form of East Asian alliance. And the 4th beast, in my mind, I always imagined that that would be AI or AI powered, because that's something that we've never seen before on this earth. We've never had an artificial intelligence, and it will create and carve paths that were never there before, things we've never even thought to consider. That's just my opinions, but that's all for today. I hope you guys have a great day. If you like the video, please click the like button, because it lets me know people are watching it. And if there's someone you want to share it with that don't have time to read the Bible, they can't read, you want a Bible story for your kids, great, play it. But mostly this is just to be able to give people a chance to hear the word if they cannot or do not have the time to actually consume it themselves. In the Holy Prayer, it says, give us this day our daily bread. And Jesus said he is the bread of life. So share it with as many as you can. Thank you.